Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Ansible Sikho. So in this session, we are going to write our first playbook. Okay. So initially, I'm going to tell you what is YAML actually. Okay, what is the YAML syntax, and we are going to write a playbook. Okay, YAML syntax and rules and playbook structure we are going to see. We are going to see the place, host, variables, what are the tasks, what are the modules inside our playbook. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, you have to keep your VS Code open. Okay, so you will find one option here, Explorer, Server Explorer, Remote Explorer. Okay, so here you have to check if you have not installed, just go and see my previous videos. Okay, there I have already explained how to install your Remote Explorer and Remote Server in your Visual Studio Code and how to integrate it with your uh, uh, controller server or managed server. Okay, so I'm going to click here. Okay, so I already have a connection with two servers. Okay, so 30.7, I am going to use this particular server as my controller server throughout our session. Okay, so I'm going to choose it, and here the arrow button you have to click here to connect. Okay, so once you connect here, okay, it will start the setting up the connection with your controller server. Okay, you can see all the connections here. Then you have to put your password here. So give your controller password. In my case, it is uh, username is Artec. So I am giving password for my username, which has root privileges. Okay, now you can see I'm connected here. Okay, so this is how you can see you are connected to your controller server. Okay, now you just click here. Okay, Explorer. From here, you will have to connect it to remote host, and you have to open your folder. Okay, so the moment you click here, the option appears here. What are folders you have to select? So in my case, as per our previous sessions. So I have used virtual environment hyphen Ansible full. Okay. So I'm going to use this directory for throughout our session. Okay. So I'm going to select it here. I will say okay. It's again asking the password. Okay. Let me enter the password. Now you will see, okay, everything is there. Okay. My virtual environment is also there, and my earlier created project is also there. Okay, everything is in place. So let's start with our first playbook. Okay, so y- first of all you have to enter into your this thing, the command prompt here. Okay, so to enter here, you have to press CTR control plus uh, the tab this way. Okay, before your keyboard. Okay, um, virtual keyboard on screen. Okay, so to get this command prompt, what you have to do, you have to press control. Okay, control plus this key. Okay, this key. Okay, then you will get this key. Okay, hope you understood it. Okay, it is gone. It has appeared. Okay, so once you get this, okay, so go to your folder. Okay, so activate. Now we are going to first activate our activate virtual environment. Okay, then move to project directory, then create a playbook. Okay, so let's see. To activate virtual environment, command is source source, then my virtual environment. What was the name? Let me see. My env. Okay, in my case it is my env. So source source my env full bin, then activate. Okay, now you can see we are inside our virtual environment. Okay, again go to your project. Okay, let me create one more directory here, mkdir um, first playbook. First playbook. Okay, so inside that we are going to create our first playbook. So here we have already got it. You can see it is there. So inside that, let me type plb my first playbook dot YAML. Okay, this extension has to be there, or else you can type dot YAML. This will also work, and this will also work. Okay, so let's see how how YAML structure is. Okay, YAML and playbook both are same, but I'm just combining it here. Structure is notation, starting and ending. Okay, indentation we are going to see. So this is how you start with three dot and ends with three dot. Start with three hyphens, one, two, three, and ends with three dots, one, two, three. Okay, so this is how YAML works. This is the structure. Okay, inside that we have to write the code. Inside the starting point and ending point, we have to write the code. Fine. So let's say I'm going to give name as my first playbook. Okay, and then I'm going to mention hosts here, right? Here I'm going to mention initially all, okay, or sent OS as per our inventory file, okay, sent as. So let me mention the inventory file or group here, okay, whatever is there. Gather facts. Let's say here, uh, I'll mention true, okay. Let me say false only initially, okay, and after that tasks. This is my first task, okay. Debug. So here we have to use Ansible dot built-in dot debug, okay. Inside that we have to type a message, okay. What type of message we are going to print on the console. So here I will say this is my first playbook in, or I will say using YAML, right? Let's say Control S. Okay, so let me explain you what it is. So first of all, this part, this part is called play. Okay, play. This is completely a play. Okay, and then this is nothing but your tasks where you are going to give a kind of I would say instructions or one by one. Built-in debug is nothing but your module. Okay, this is module, and this module contains this particular attribute called message, which is used to print. Okay, if you want to print something, you want to print any message on the console or any kind of output, you have to use a debug module. Okay, this debug module is used only for the print purpose. Okay, so now you understood that this is your play. This is your first play, I would say. Okay, play one. Okay, and this is your task. This task will contain different plays. Okay, there are different modules. Okay, different tasks. So this is my debug task. Okay, now I will be showing more tasks inside this. So let's see how it gets executed. Now, host is nothing but your host inside the group. Whatever is available in the inventory, there is a group called CentOS. In place of CentOS, I could have written all. Okay, so it would have taken all hosts. We are going to see that as well. Now, after that, gather fact. I have explicitly mentioned it false. Otherwise, if you do not mention gather fact by default, it is going to collect all the facts for whatever host available inside this group. If there are three hosts, it will collect all the facts of those hosts available in this particular group. Okay. Name is nothing but a user-friendly name through which you can understand this is your play. Okay, this is what you are going to do here. Okay, so by writing the name here, if you don't write name, it will still run, but you won't be able to identify why this particular task has been written and returning the output. So that is the reason we are giving a user-friendly name to identify what is the purpose of this particular task. Okay, so I can simply write this is my, or I would say printing my first playbook task. Okay, let's say save. Now you are going to get an error or it will display the output. Let's see. So Ansible version, let's see. So it is not able to find the configuration file. So whatever we have defined as a default in configuration file will not be considered here. It means it is not going to consider the sent OS. Okay, this host is going to refer inventory. Okay, inventory. So our inventory is available in different directory. Okay, so it is not going to take that. We have to make it user friendly inventory file. Okay, so this particular inventory file is not available in this particular directory, so it is not going to consider it. We have to explicitly provide where our inventory is present. Okay, we are going to see both the ways. Okay, so let's type our command Ansible Playbook hyphen playbook. This is how we are going to use to run our playbook. So Ansible hyphen playbook, this is the inbuilt command. Okay. Now here I don't have to mention host explicitly as we were mentioning in ad-hoc command. So I'll just give the playbook name. What it is, playbook hyphen first playbook dot YAML. Now let me run it first. Okay. So the warning message is the host list is empty. It was not able to find the host. Okay. Just because my inventory file, this host file is not present in this particular directory, or the configuration file is missing for this particular directory. Okay. Now let me put this dot dot my project, or I would say dot my project, then hosts. Okay, let's see. Perfect. How did it connect it to it? Because I explicitly mentioned the host file here, and then it went to this particular inventory file and found the CentOS group, and then it worked. Okay, earlier it was giving a warning message that the CentOS is not present. Okay, so printing my first playbook task. You can see this, right? So this naming convention is making me very clear or understanding that why this message has been printed here. Okay, you can see to print it, it has considered node 1 as well as node 2. Okay, so in my CentOS group, two nodes are available, node 1 and node 2. So it has run on all the nodes available inside this particular group. Okay, so this is how we are going to write our playbook for basic to complex steps. Okay. So now let me create again a configuration file here. Or 1 second. So we can create environmental variable because it would be very difficult for us to create ansible.cfg for each and every project. Yeah, though it is, it depends on your project requirement or structure, how you would want this configuration file to be leveraged. Okay, so this way also for each project you may have a separate Ansible configuration file. Otherwise, you can create a common configuration file using environment variable. Okay, so let's let me create export Ansible underscore config is equal to, okay. So here I would say I want to use this configuration file. Okay, okay. So let me copy the path. Okay, fine. Let's say if it has been there, echo ansible underscore config. Sorry. Yeah. So this particular ansible config variable is having this particular path. Now let's say ansible hyphen hyphen version. It still says none. Okay. Have we made any mistake? So this is how we are going to pass the path. Okay. My project. No. Dot. Fine. So this is the way we are going to Ansible config. Yeah. So Ansible config is present. Let's try to run our project without this. Yeah, so it is not accepting it. Okay, so you can create Ansible environmental variable export Ansible underscore config is equal to uh, uh, um, double slash, just come out of this particular directory. Okay, so say now Ansible config. Okay, now echo dollar Ansible config. So path has been set for this particular configuration file. Okay, this one. Okay, now we can see Ansible space hyphen version. Okay, so now you can see that this particular Ansible full inventory. Okay, it is this one. Okay, so this is how the path has been set, and now we can run our Ansible playbook without explicitly writing or giving host name, right? So inside this configuration file, defaults under defaults inventory path is mentioned my project and hosts. Okay, so it should run now. Mhm. Okay, Ansible hyphen version home article virtual hyphen sc full Ansible hyphen cg defaults inventory my project. Okay, okay, so let's unset using this command unset command. You can remove the configuration path from this particular variable. Okay, from environmental variable you can remove the this whatever you have set here. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Okay, then we will see that Ansible config. Okay, 1 second. Ansible underscore config dollar. Okay, it does not have anything. Now again I will have to export um Ansible Ansible underscore config equal to dot Ansible CFG. This is nothing but this path. Okay, this path. Okay, it is directly available inside this particular directory. Right, let me set it. Let's echo Ansible config. So path is available correctly. Let's see version. Okay, so now you can see this path, it is available. It is directing towards this particular Ansible config file. Let's run our playbook. Okay, PLB, it should run this time. Okay, so that's what where we have not used hyphen I and then have not provided any host or inventory file explicitly here. So this is how it will work. Okay, you have to set the environmental variable. Environmental variable will fix this particular configuration file. Okay, yeah. So that's all in this video. We will see more in our next upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching Ansible Sikho. Thank you.